Good morning and welcome to Round the Globe on Aneke TV. First, the headlines. Ukraine admits Russia has entered key region of Dnipropetrovsk. UN demands justice over Israeli double strike on Gaza hospital. France faces new political crisis as PM expected to lose confident vote. France returns slaying king's call to Madagascar. Strike looms as ASU, a suit holds protest over unmet demands. Passengers scamper as Abuja-Kaduna train derails. Power generation stock at 5,500 megawatts as also gets regulatory authority. Police arrest 2 suspected car thieves, recover 3 vehicles in Kano. I am Aneke. Now the news in details. Ukrainian forces have admitted that Russia's military have crossed into the eastern industrial region of Dnipropetrovsk and are trying to establish a foothold. This is the first attack of such a large scale in the region. Russia has claimed throughout the summer that it has entered the area as its forces try to push deeper into Ukrainian territory from Donetsk region. In the meantime, Thamen Al-Kitan, the spokesperson for the UN Human Rights Office, has demanded that Israel's investigation into unlawful killings in Gaza I'll take that again. In the meantime, Thamen Al-Kitan, the spokesperson for the UN Human Rights Office, has demanded that Israel investigations into unlawful killings in Gaza, including its double-tap bombing of Nasser Hospital, which killed 20 people, among them 5 journalists, yield results and ensure accountability. Al-Kitan added that the number of journalists killed in Gaza raised many questions about the targeting of media workers. Israel twice struck Nasser Hospital, the last functioning public hospital in southern Gaza. Witnesses said the second strike came just as rescue crews and journalists arrived to evacuate the wounded 15 minutes after the first bombing, killing first responders and media workers. In trade, the United States has enacted sweeping 50% tariffs on a broad range of Indian exports, doubling the previous 25% rate as of Wednesday, in a punitive response to India's continued purchases of Russian oil. The move has sharply escalated tensions between the two strategic partners. Analysts warned the tariffs could slash export orders by 30%, delivering a severe shock to India's small and medium-sized exporters. In France, France is braced for another political crisis as the minority government of François Bayrou appears almost certain to be toppled in a confidence vote next month amid deep political divisions over an unpopular austerity budget and debt reduction plan. Bayrou, 74, a close ally of Emmanuel Macron, is expected to lose the vote as opposition parties Taking that paragraph again, Emmanuel Macron is expected to lose the vote to opposition parties as the far right and left said they would relish the opportunity to eject him after less than 9 months in office. A planned protest movement against Bayrou's proposed budget cuts, which gathered support on social media over the summer, as well as potential strikes and demonstrations by trade unions, are expected to begin on 10 September, regardless of whether Bayrou is forced to quit. The politician attended a meeting of the CFDT trade union yesterday where he urged French and political parties to think carefully about the vote, noting that they had 13 days to say whether they are on the side of chaos or responsibility. Now we move over to news from Africa. The head of Malagasy king, killed by French troops during a colonial-era war, has been formally returned to Madagascar. The handover of King Toria's call and those of 2 other members of his court took place at a ceremony at the Culture Ministry in Paris. The skulls had been brought to France at the end of the 19th century and stored at the Museum of Natural History in the French capital. It is the first use of a new law meant to expedite the return of human remains from collections in France. In the meantime, Botswana's president has declared a public health emergency due to shortages of essential medicines and equipment as a downturn in the global diamond market and USA cuts take a toll on the country's finances. The announcement came after the Ministry of Health suspended non-urgent surgeries on 4th August, stating that the country was short of medicines to treat hypertension, diabetes, cancer, asthma, and eye conditions, as well as supplies including bandages and sutures and those for sexual and reproductive health. The president, Duma Boko, said in a televised address on Monday night that the country's medical supply chain had failed, and he announced 250 million in funding for emergency medicines, the distribution of which would be overseen by the military. Boko blamed the state procurement agency Central Medical Store, CMS, which he said in turn blamed intermediaries for ratcheting up drug prices in the southern African country, which has a population of about 2.5 million, and it's the world's largest diamond producer by value. And still in Africa, Russia has dangled the possibility of building a nuclear power plant in uranium-rich Niger, a vast arid state on the edge of the Sahara Desert that has to import most of its electricity. It may be deemed impractical and may never happen, but the concept is yet another move by Moscow to seek a geopolitical advantage over Western nations. Niger has historically exported the metal for further refining in France, but that is changing as the military-led country cuts off ties with the former colonial power. The uranium mining operation operated by French nuclear group Orano was nationalized in June, which cleared the way for Russia to put itself forward as a new partner. This news broadcast is coming to you from Aneke TV. Remember, you can follow us on all our social media feeds on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and on YouTube, all at Aneke TV. Now a quick look at major developments in the news. Ukraine admits Russia has entered key region of Dnipropetrovsk. The UN demands justice over Israeli double strike on Gaza hospital. France faces new political crisis as PM expected to lose confidence vote. France returns Slain King's call to Madagascar. Coming up shortly, UNN ASU ready to join nationwide strike. Passenger scampers Abuja-Kaduna train derails. Power generation stock at 5,500 megawatts as also gets regulatory authority. Police arrest 2 suspected car thieves, recover 3 vehicles in Kano. And the news returns after the break. We'll be right back.
God is not far. He is in the stillness after the chaos, in the laughter of children, in the stranger who smiled at you for no reason. He is not confined to buildings or books. He walks with us in dust and rain, in heartbreak and healing. He is the answer before we even speak. To seek God is to seek love, and to find God, truly find Him, is to love deeper, live fuller, and give without counting.
You're still watching Around the Globe on Aneke TV. We now bring you stories from Nigeria. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, University of Nigeria, and Nsukka UNN branch says members are ready to join the impending nationwide indefinite strike if the federal government fails to meet demands. Comrade Oyibo Eze, the chairman of ASU UNN, said this while briefing newsmen in Nsukka shortly after the union's congress, followed by protest rally by members. Comrade Eze said Nigerians should hold government responsible in case of any nationwide indefinite strike by ASU as government has failed to do the needful. The chairman said the protest was in compliance with the directive of the national leadership on branches of the union to carry out protest rallies so as to appeal to government to do the needful. He said that ASU National Executive Council (NEC) would meet on September 2nd after meeting with the federal government on August 28th to determine the next line at the administrative building of the university. Also, members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU Enugu State University of Science and Technology, ESUT branch, have joined their counterparts in the country in a peaceful protest to demand for better welfare and working conditions for lecturers. Aneke TV correspondent Chidimai Kemede, who monitored the exercise, reports that the lecturers marched around the university premises carrying placards and chanting solidarity songs. Still on ASU, the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka chapter yesterday joined the nationwide protest of the union, lamenting that lecturers have been on the same salary scale for 16 years, despite worsening economic realities. The protesting lecturers, led by the branch chairman, Innocent Nubia, blocked part of the Enugu-Oka-Onitsha Expressway and marched across the university campus, carrying placards with inscriptions such as "End Poverty Salary Now," "FG Stop Deceiving Us," and "We Don't Want Loan, Pay Us Our Money." Comrade Nubia said the federal government has failed to implement the renegotiated 2009 agreement, which was due for renewal in 2012, describing the station as a show of shame. As a show of shame. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) has intercepted and seized 2.318 tons of cannabis in separate operations in Kwara State within 1 week. The state commander of the agency, Fatima Popola, announced this during a news conference in Ilorin, the state capital. According to her, the seizures were made during raids along the Offa and Omu Aron axis. 4 suspects were arrested after concealing the drugs in canter trucks and sacks of sawdust to evade detection. Also, the Delta State Police Command says it arrested officers who appeared in a viral video counting bundles of cash inside a patrol van marked Area Command as Saba. The video, which circulated on social media, showed the officers handling the money from their parked vehicle, raising widespread suspicion that the cash could have been proceeds of extortion. Reacting to the developments, the police public relations officer for the command, Bright Edafi, confirmed in a post on X, formerly Twitter, that the officers had been tracked and taken into custody. According to him, the command wasted no time in summoning the personnel before the Commissioner of Police after the video came to its attention. Now we move to politics. The Anambra State House of Assembly has suspended the member representing Anyamelum constituency, Mr. Bernard Udemezwe, for 3 months. Mr. Udemezwe was suspended over a message and content he shared on social media, which the House described as damaging content. The lawmaker, elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), had shared on his social media handles alleging that his constituency, Ayamelum, is marginalized in the area of constituency allowances. Now we move to business. President Bola Tinubu yesterday praised the remarkable growth of Nigeria's capital market under his administration. This is as he credited investors' confidence in his economic reforms for the surge in activity on the Nigerian exchange. He disclosed this while receiving the Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Dr. Emomotimi Agama, and the Board of Directors of the Nigerian Exchange Group in Brazil during his state visit. The president said the expansion of the market's capitalization and trading volumes reflected the strength of his policies. The State House confirmed the meeting in a statement signed by Presidential Advisor Mr. Bayo Onanuga and posted on X this morning. He reaffirmed his commitment to supporting the market, pledging additional reforms to elevate Nigeria's financial ecosystem in line with the Renewed Hope agenda. And that's all we have for you on Round the Globe on Aneke TV. You can send us your messages or drop your comment across all our social media platforms on X, Instagram, Facebook, and right here on YouTube, all at Aneke TV. Thank you for joining us. I am Aneke.
na mbụ ọja m na-asị ekekele ụwa na ọkwa ọja ekenekwa gị na eluigwe na ala na-ekene gị na urukpuru na kpakpando na-ekene gị na ugwu na ndịna na-ekene gị maka ka onye si eme ka ekwe si akpụ ya ka onye si eme ka ọja si akpụ ya. Ihe a bụ Aneke TV.
God. God is not far. He is in the stillness after the chaos, in the laughter of children, in the stranger who smiled at you for no reason. He is not confined to buildings or books. He walks with us in dust and rain, in heartbreak and healing. He is the answer before we even speak. To seek God is to seek love, and to find God, truly find Him, is to love deeper, live fuller, and give without counting.
Na mbụ ọja m na-asị ekekele ụwa na ọkwa ọja ekenekwa gị n'eluigwe na ala na-ekene gị n'urukpuru na kpakpando na-ekene gị n'ugwu na ndịna na-ekene gị. Ihe a bụ Aneke TV.
God. God is not far. He is in the stillness after the chaos, in the laughter of children, in the stranger who smiled at you for no reason. He is not confined to buildings or books. He walks with us in dust and rain, in heartbreak and healing. He is the answer before we even speak. To seek God is to seek love, and to find God, truly find Him, is to love deeper, live a fuller, and give without counting.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, 042. Thank you for joining us on today's show here on Sunrise on Aneke TV. Your favorite person bringing smiles to you every morning. I'm Deborah Wakoba, coming to you live from our studio here in vibrant Enugu.
And Amuche Osai, wherever you are, at home, in your office, or in traffic, thank you for letting us into your space this beautiful Wednesday morning. Always, we're here to refresh, inform, and motivate.
Yes, and it's Wednesday, August 27, 2025. We are here, as usual, with a full lineup of news, trending stories, weather reports, and also that exciting sunrise vibe to help you start your day.
So, relax, sip your tea or coffee, because the sunrise is here.
And firstly, we would start off with our quote of the day, with words that are inspiring and words that are knowledgeable to help you conquer your day and make sure you remain focused or well-driven.
Right after that, we will give you today's stories from our newspaper headlines, all the key updates you need to know, served hot and tasty.
And we've also got your weather report for today, covering cities across the southeast, which will help you get well prepared before stepping out today.
And later, we'll take you through today's celebrations to lift your spirit.
And so to our quote of the day, today is coming from author Schopenhauer, and in his quote he said, "Wealth is like sea water. The more we drink, the thirstier we'll become." And right here in his quote, he's highlighting the insatiable nature of man's desire. And then he's saying wealth and fame promise satisfaction, but in reality, they create dependency and also restlessness. Now, he says, true contentment, therefore, cannot be found in external things, but it can be found in cultivating inner peace. It can be found in self-control and also gratitude. And in short, just like drinking salt water, we all know seawater is made up of salt, and then just like taking water, it increases your thirst, and then it's also the same way as chasing wealth. It is never enough and we are never full, just the same way as chasing fame. Like you always want to be famous from this person here and there, people to know you and all that, but instead we should calm down, be contented, and then be grateful for what we have. Okay, and as usual, please always remember that each new sunrise is an opportunity for us to try something new. It's an opportunity for us to grow and learn something every day. Please don't forget to drop what this code means to you on our social media handles on Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, and YouTube, all at Aneke TV. And we'll be going on a short break. When we return, we'll be taking the weather update. Please stay tuned.
God. God is not far. He is in the stillness after the chaos, in the laughter of children, in the stranger who smiled at you for no reason. He is not confined to buildings or books. He walks with us in dust and rain, in heartbreak and healing. He is the answer before we even speak. To seek God is to seek love, and to find God, truly find Him, is to love deeper, live a fuller, and give without counting.
You're still watching Aneke TV. Stay tuned as we take a look at today's weather across major cities in the southeast.
Yes, and our first city today is in Oka, the capital city of Anambra State. And in Oka, the morning begins under a blanket of clouds with mild temperatures near 22 degrees Celsius by late morning, with showers stretching into the afternoon as temperatures climb towards 26 degrees Celsius, and the skies will remain mostly cloudy into the evening, with temperatures gently settling into the low 20 degrees Celsius.
And in Enugu, early hours marked by showers with temperatures starting at 24 degrees Celsius. As late morning approaches, the clouds linger and temperatures rise towards 28 to 29 degrees Celsius by noon. The afternoon brings additional rain before the skies remain mostly cloudy into evening, with temperatures easing into mid-20s degrees centigrade.
And over to Abakaliki. Abakaliki greets the day with cloudy skies and cool temperatures near 22 degrees Celsius. Rain showers begin by mid-morning, and by noon temperature reaches around 28 degrees Celsius as intermittent sunshine breaks through.
And coming to the driving city of Owerri, Owerri begins with a calm, cloudy morning near 22 degrees Celsius before showers arrive and temperatures climb around to 28 to 29 degrees Celsius by midday. The afternoon heats up with further rain and even thunderstorms. These showers continue into the early evening before skies remain mostly cloudy as temperatures dip into the mid-20 degrees Celsius.
And lastly, we have Umahia. And in Umahia, the morning stays mostly cloudy with temperatures starting near 22 degrees Celsius. The rain moves in by mid-morning, and by noon temperatures climb to around 28 degrees Celsius also. The afternoon brings intermittent clouds and some thunderstorms with highs lingering near 29 to 30 degrees Celsius. The evening remains overcast with temperatures settling into the mid-20 degrees Celsius.
So, wherever you are in the southeast today, keep yourself warm. Keep an umbrella close. Rain or shine, we've got you covered. That's your weather report for the day. We'll be right back with more updates.
na mbụ ọja m na-asị ekekele ụwa na ọkwa ọja ekenekwa gị n'eluigwe na ala na-ekene gị na urukpuru na kpakpando na-ekene gị na ugwu na ndịna na-ekene gị maka ka onye si eme ka ekwe si akpụ ya ka onye si eme ka ọja si akpụ ya ihe a bụ Aneke TV.
You're still watching Sunrise on Aneke TV. So let's see what's making front pages today in The Nation, Punch, Vanguard, and The Guardian newspaper. And again, as usual, we have our in-house analyst, Mrs. Chiwendu Ifeoluwankwo. Thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you very much, Miss Deborah.
Miss Chiwendu, it's always good to have you.
Looking good this morning.
Thank you very much. Now over to our headlines. On The Nation headlines, it reports oil giant Petrobras return is key gain of Tinubu's Brazil visit. And over to the Punch headline, we have the 2027 PDP ticket zoning to South quits North. And then in Vanguard headline, we also have Presidency, Northern blocs oppose PDP zoning ticket to South. And lastly, in the Guardian headline, we have the over 5,000 cargoes trapped at ports amid 2 trillion naira demurrage losses. And we also have a trending story that says posers over security contracts maintenance after 188 train derailment in 6 years. Now we'll be taking the Punch headlines, which says 2027 PDP tickets aiming PDP tickets zoning to South quits North. Now the decision by the leaders of the People Democratic Party PDP to zone East 2027 presidential tickets to southern Nigeria has spirited various northern groups in different camps, with many describing the development as undemocratic and contrary to the spirit of fair competition. And the PDP zoning decision reflects between the North and South in Nigerian politics. So I'm wondering, could this shape alliance defections and the party's chances in 2027?
Thank you very much. The headline today from the Punch is making us to understand more that the PDP house is yet to be harmonized.
Okay.
Because when you look deep into what they are saying, you understand that if you look at it from outside, it may look like a little crack. But really, deep inside, the crack is deeper than anyone can actually look at it. Because I don't want to believe that from the same house, people who are out to know how to better their house so that they will find themselves in the ballot come 2027. And the meeting is now reaching a resolution where every man will feel treated fairly, only for a group from the same house to come out to say they don't understand what these people are saying. It goes to show that either that the leadership as at now isn't telling us really what's actually happening, or they just want to tell us what they feel we want to hear so that we'll begin to see that their house is actually in order, or that are beginning to put their house in order. If not, I wonder why they will say that zoning this presidency tickets to the south
Yes.
is like disenfranchising some persons who want to vote and to be voted for. Because why? That there are people who may be more have more attributes or more qualified for that very position, but because it has been zoned out of their own region, they won't be able to have that platform or that opportunity to come on board and show what they know how to do best, that they are not in support of that. And this may really lead to most of them, you know, being biased during the election. That it means that they are beginning to even see PDP failing even before the 2027 arrives.
Okay.
That so long as this zoning to the south stands without any shifting grounds, that they are seeing it as, they are seeing this move as dead on arrival come 2027. And this is actually coming from a group in North Central,
Okay.
saying that they are not in support of that. But when you go through the story, you find out that states like Kogi, Benue, they're in support of KB, they're in support of what happened,
Okay.
what the resolution on ground. So I wouldn't know what is informing the thoughts of this group that came out to say that they are not in support? Is it that they don't want PDP to go ahead, or is it that they don't want PDP to be on ballot, or is there any special interest they're trying to project by trying to form a catalyst that will end up scattering what they're trying to put together? I mean, maybe as the story unfolds, we'll get to know more.
All right. But my question to you is this. Do you think, or are you of the view that the tickets should have been thrown open so whoever is qualified should run, irrespective of zone or region?
No.
Okay.
Do you know why? From 1999, that PDP has been on board, they have been maintaining this zoning condition.
Okay.
Down to the last election, that should be 2019, before 2022-23, that everything, that it was that one that was the last straw that broke the camel's back. And that was actually what saw their downfall. I didn't know why they did not want to maintain that. They have their zoning. And every party has their own zoning formula. So, and they are saying during that meeting that led to this resolution, they are preparing for 2027. So, let it be in the spirit of harmonizing the house. Since, okay, this way, every region, whatever post you are holding, hold it.
Okay.
Let's do this neck and prepare for 2027. In the meanwhile, or in the meantime, North has the chairman. So, the party chairman.
Yeah.
So, that the tickets for presidency should come to the South. So, why are they crying foul here? So, that's what I don't understand.
Okay. So to you personally, you feel it's justified
It's
for the ticket to be
justified.
zoned to
Yes, to the
south.
south.
Okay.
And even they were saying that even at that 2023, that they threw it open because of maybe one interest or the other, it was rightfully the south that's supposed to get that zoning, because Buhari from North has done 8 years.
Okay.
So automatically it should come back to the south. So that throwing it open, even that 2023, shouldn't have even shouldn't have been on board for whatever reason. So now kind of making that correction, correcting that error they
Of
committed
2023.
2023, I don't think it's a bad notion. They should have welcomed it with two hands wide open.
All right.
Okay.
Let me ask again before I
Okay.
make any comment. Don't you think that this is playing into President Tinubu's hand or into an advantage for the APC?
I am not seeing it.
No,
that-
let me give you context.
Okay.
It's been endorsements and defections,
Okay.
right? Only a few states in the south are opposition in principle, but not in deed. We've heard, we've listened and observed their body languages. Is assumed or seen that most southern states have endorsed the president of APC. So, I ask again, don't you think this gives an advantage to Tinubu?
I wouldn't know what is informing your own thoughts in coming up with this, but I am feeling that if they are able to maintain the ground, they have what they are beginning to water, that President Tinubu, if only they also have a sellable candidate, that's another thing.
Sellable candidate
Yeah,
from the south.
from the south.
Okay.
If they will have a sellable candidate from the south, Mr. Tinubu may not really have its all the way. I mean, he won't have everything.
Yeah.
There can be, you can call it 50-50 or
60-40.
60-40 sharing formula in the votes that will be garnered from this end, southern end of this country.
Okay.
But when you listen to the people agitating that they didn't buy the idea of zoning, especially zoning the presidency to the south from the PDP, these people from the North Central, they are saying that from inception, especially this democratic dispensation since 1999, that they have never experienced anything at the presidency, whether it as vice or whatever. And as such, they are feeling that at this time, they should be given that opportunity. But if they are given that opportunity, they have waited, let this remaining 4 years, that 2027 to 31, to elapse, so that we will know that it has gone back to the north. When it comes back to them, they should now beckon on their brothers, saying, north, west, north, east have gone. Please, in as much as it is down to the north, bring it to north central. I'm not coming to leap into the southern parts of the zoning formula.
Okay.
So what I am saying, I am not seeing it that way you are reasoning it. Although in this country,
Anything is possible.
political matters cannot be predicted. Anything can
possible.
happen and anything is possible at any time. So there may be a possibility from from where you are coming from, and it cannot zero it again from where I am coming from.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's neither here nor
Not
there.
there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. My asking that question is predicated on the fact that
Okay.
most southern governors have virtually endorsed President Tinubu. Anambra State Governor has publicly endorsed President Tinubu. I've heard Enugu State Governor give eloquent, rousing assessment, favorable assessment of the president. Go to Delta State, which was formerly a PDP state, is now an APC state. The same will be said for Akwa Ibom as well. Then River State, automatically, given the behemoth, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, APC, and maybe 80% right to say that River State is an APC state as well. That's why I asked that question. Because I was trying to think of a pathway for a southern candidate to permit through this structure. Bearing in mind that we are told that the pathway to the presidency is based on structures. That's my point. However, coming to the headline, okay?
One thing we must know is that these governors endorsing them are just one vote.
Okay,
And this period to play.
okay.
But this period, people are beginning to be more enlightened that they do not pay heed to parties, but to the individuals that are flying the flag. And that is why I say, if they are able to sell out, to bring out a sellable or a credible candidate, forget the structures and ground, because what happened in 2023 with P2B and Labour Party, who knew Labour Party? Me, I barely knew Labour Party. But the two of us can attest to what happened. Where were the structures? So, but fine, at the end of the day, the two of us became the structures.
All right.
That's it.
All right. Granted that the people are becoming the structures, is academics, if we begin to tilt towards that, because it's still debatable. Because talking about structures, you would recall what happened in River State. So that's the structure. Now, I would neither call it the structure of criminality or the structure of politics.
Whichever
You
way.
understand? Whatever it is, politics, I was told that rigging is part of it as well. So I bet whether good or bad. However, looking at this headline, talking about zoning, remember one of our discussions, I raised that question and I ask again, do we think that PDP will be in the ballot in 2027? I beg to ask that question again. Because seeing as things are beginning to unfold, I am beginning to think and see that there are more cracks in PDP than beholds the eyes.
Exactly.
Yes, the more we talk about rebetting the PDP, the more we see new pregnancies erupting. The northern stakeholders say they will go into a meeting to review that decision. Arewa youths have said that zoning the presidency to the south is obvious that the north are feeling alienated from this decision to zone to the
Yes,
south.
exactly.
So you see, you begin to see cracks opening up.
Why would they feel that way?
No,
Let's just finish 18.
He said politics is a what? A game of interest. So it serves their interest. They would want to protect their interest. I would want to ask the same question you're raising now. But I'm looking at these cracks. I'm not judging the religiosity or the morality of their argument, but that's of interest and projecting into 2027. The cracks.
Okay,
Because
if I will give into what you are talking or thinking about, then I will begin to validate what Kenneth Okonkwo was saying
that
the other time on Arise. That people may see him as standing against or opposing Peter Obi's presidential ambition. But no, that his own ambition or thoughts of going into this coalition is to make sure that the current government is voted out of the house. And if you should bring this presidency from any other political party down to south, he also is from the south, that he has already like taken roots or grounds. So it's like a home advantage for him. But if you take it to the north, that northern presidency or candidature will, uh, will garner all the votes from the north. Then will now come back here to share his own vote with him.
Yes.
And with that, that power surely must be taken from him.
that is Kenneth's opinion.
That's what he's saying.
That is his opinion.
And if I reason along with what you're saying,
that is his
that
opinion.
means your question is beginning to validate his own opinion.
Is my
Yes.
is my prerogative to raise questions because I'm seeing questions, and these questions are cracks that I am noticing. My point exactly is this: that I don't see pathway to a PDP victory.
Okay,
I
so,
do not see the preparation.
Speaking of zoning, yes, in the Vanguard headline, you know, in the point it says the zoning, they quit, the South quits the North. And now in the Vanguard headline, they said where Northern blocks oppose the PDP zoning ticket. And then it says, according to, in a statement that the Vanguard carried, it says the former deputy national chairman of PDP, Chief Bode George, said PDP members opposing zoning of the presidential slot to the south were being selfish and manipulative.
All right.
And then on the other hand, the PDP Deputy National Legal Advisor, Mr. Okechukwu Osoha, hailed the zoning decision as a turning point that will unify the party and restore its credibility.
Now, another question, Ms. Deborah, because when I started with questions. Under the caption, I do not see PDP as a party in 2027. What they have said, what Bode George has raised, validates my worry and why I ask these questions. Now, where were all these people in 2023 when a northerner, when the ticket was thrown open?
And
Why
when
was
it's-
it?
when it's supposed to even come to South?
Why did all of them not stand up for the South
For
in
the South.
2023? Why was it thrown open? And why now zone it
You
to
now remember
the
it's
South?
supposed to
Now
be
let me
South.
raise another question. Granted, you zone it to the South. There are northerners who are of the view that they don't want to sacrifice 2031 when it will be time for the North. Now you're zoning into the South. Are you going to give a PDP president 4 years? Let's assume the warring factions in this situation. We know the Makinde faction. We know the governor of Bauchi. We know the governor of Bauchi faction who have interest. These are interests to contest the ticket under the platform of the PDP, right? I bet the Wike faction somewhere, right? The Ashebi faction. Okay? Now, you get a candidate of the PDP. Is the person coming to do 8 years or coming to do just 4 years? These are the questions. So why make it a Southern ticket now? You left it open in 2023. Why not leave it open again? We know that you're fair-minded. Now, good. Now, would it not? That's why I said, I asked you a question. Are we not setting the PDP up for a Tinubu re-emergence in 2027? The North that do not want a Southern candidate that will do 8 years, how do you think they will support the PDP? How do you think they will support the PDP? Which the RY youths have answered vividly by saying that the zoning arrangement favors Tinubu. So I do not see the Northerners who are eager, who couldn't wait for Buhari to be out of office and contested in 2023, and then want to lose 2031. These are calculations, these are political calculations that should be asked. We should look for the answers. I do not see the North that want power, the camp of Bala Mohammed, governor of Bauchi State, that would want to support a Southern candidate that would do 8 years. Most of them do not have time after 2027. If they lose out in not contesting for the presidency, assuming you zone it to the South, a Southerner that would do 4 years, and you don't leave 2031 open for the North, most of them will not be viable candidates beyond 2031. Right? So, justifying my questions that this zoning, the issues in PDP are throwing up more cracks. Where are the weakest faction in all this? The weakest faction has told you categorically that they will do Tinubu in 2027. He has said it on air that he will do President Tinubu in 2027. And they are PDP. They are part of the neck of PDP. These are the issues. These are the questions. So until we begin to answer these questions, I see PDP as jokers. Are they being fair-minded by throwing the ticket to the South now? When the South had the opportunity, it was supposed to be an all-Southern affair in 2023, giving a pathway for us not to have the APC in power today. You sabotage that, then you come this time around where part of the stakeholders from the North want the power returned to the North by 2031. No. If I become a president by 2027, US power, religious power in 2031, how feasible is that? If not, when you get the likes of Dr. Ebele Goodluck Jonathan, who will know that it's constitutionally banned, may perhaps, arguably in the courts, to do only one term. Or the kind of P2B who is offering to do a single term, which, many are doubting. The fact that they say power corrupts, and power corrupts absolutely, that it may be difficult after having tested that position to want to relinquish that post after 4 years. And what if after 4 years, then Nigerians begin to beg him to do another
Don't
term?
buy the pump for him. He said, come back.
Come back. What happens? So these are the questions that will be asked.
It goes to show that this idea of zoning into the south is actually uh, a planned deal. Use it is manipulative and planned, but make it is a pseudo plan. When you're looking at it, you won't get the real gist
Yes.
until you're coming until you are engulfed in the whole plan. So you're seeing it, but you will not be sure except you have critical mind.
Let me sum it up.
reasoning.
Let me sum it up for you. You know, you've heard about the term PDAPC. Have you heard the PDAPC? The hand of Jacob,
Is
the
that
voice of Esau.
Okay.
That is what I'm saying. I've not seen sincerity in PDP. I'm sorry to raise these concerns. The likes of Wike, who are stakeholders in PDP, in a party, in the PDP of old, when the likes of President Obasanjo were there, Audogbe, just to mention a few, the parties of Solomon La, the parties of Ekweme, and then you have a party member, the parties of Tony Anene, the PDP of Tony Anene, you have a member of PDP openly telling you that he will do everything possible to re-elect an opposition president. And this person is in your neck. And you have a co-Ashebi stakeholders with him who are working for emergence of a president of the opposition. And then you sit with them in a meeting to faction who will be your presidential candidate. This is where you will strategize for 2027. And you are telling me you're serious?
No, they're not serious.
Why have we not seen charges of anti-party activities? Nobody has been charged. If you're talking of reconciliation, then do reconciliation. Then let's take a stand. That's why I told you PDAPC. The hand of Jacob, the voice of Esau. That's what I'm seeing in the PDP of today. Zoning or no zoning, there are cracks in the PDP that needs to be settled. Are you getting me?
Yes.
I'm not holding forth for anybody. Right? If you have thrown it open in 2023,
then okay.
Yes. So why are you not throwing it open this time? Why do you want the likes of Bauchi governor that wants to contest not to contest this time around when you made it open the other time?
That's true.
And that's why this
that's been the genesis. That's been the genesis why the lights of Wike First changed.
They have their own agenda behind it.
Anyways, in conclusion, 2027 is still far ahead. In politics, they say anything can happen in a day. So let's watch the story as it unfolds. Nobody holds the magic wand or knows the end from the beginning. We are keen observers. We can only observe and analyze from what we see. But we are yet to see the pathway. Until then, let's keep watching.
Thank you very much for each of your opinion. And please, as usual, don't forget that you can grab your copy from any of your favorite vendor or catch the e-copy online. And then after the break, it's time to unwind a little with a celebration, which is interesting. Now, stay with us. Good to have you here. You're still watching Sunrise on Aneke TV, and today we are looking at an interesting and quirky celebration. And today it is the National Bananas Day, a fun and light-hearted celebration of one of the world's favorite fruits. And then thinking about banana is a simple fruit and it's always ready to go. Whether you're grabbing a quick breakfast, blending a smoothie, or baking banana bread, anytime, banana is something that is easy. Like I said, today is Bananas Day. Now, this day isn't just about enjoying banana as a snack, it is also about recognizing how important they are across cultures. From school lunch boxes to tropical farms, bananas connect people globally. And then they're also packed with nutrients like potassium and fiber, which can keep us energized, which can keep us energized and healthy, but they also bring joy in small ways. And now, so today, there are ways that we can celebrate this day, which is the Bananas Day, like making banana based recipe like banana bread. We have banana cake or anything, banana smoothie, banana in fact, making a smoothie, you see bananas in almost every fruit, or making fruit salad. And also, the health angle of banana is that it is nutrition and is also advisable to eat, to take. Although some people might say it's sugary, it has this effect, it has this thing, but it has a healthy aspect to it, which is the potassium, and then gives you, it's, in fact, let's just sum it up like it's an healthy fruit, okay? And also, it's also meant to be educational, which you can sometimes share it in school, and also use this day to teach children or students, even adults, about where bananas come from and their nutritional benefits and their economic importance. So let us know what you're celebrating wherever you are, and tag us at Aneke TV across Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube, and call our phone 070-3043-7110. And it's a wrap on today's edition of Sunrise. I'm Deborah Wakoba. It's always a pleasure